Hello and welcome to VChess. My name is Naiditsch. I am a chess grandmaster and we continue with our educational streams. Let's go with the next rapid game. We will be facing openings, middle games, end games, different tactical ideas, positional motives. You will have it all. So join us. Let's go with the first game. We are facing the black pieces in the first game, and let's continue with the Caro-Kann. First today to say hello is Grand Miner, almost as usual. First to say hello in the chat, welcome Grand Miner. Second to say hi to us is Problem 83. And as number 3 we have Dilip. Dilip number 3 today in the chat. Welcome everyone. I hope you're having a great day wherever you are in the world. We know that we have geographically almost all the earth covered here on the stream. So our first game, we have this e4 c4 against the Caro-Kann. Of course d5 is possible, but let's continue with the move e5 so we can try to cover here the dark squares. Knight on f3, very normal response by white, and we have, for example, queen c7, a little bit tricky opening here. Usually d6 is the way to play, but let's start with the move queen on c7. Why do we play the move queen on c7? Because now in case of d4 we have here the check first, and then we're gonna play the move d6, so the bishop is not stuck on a fate. This is the idea of the move queen on c7. Welcome everyone in the chat. Good morning. Welcome everyone. By the way, we started to make the members only section videos. So for those of you who are members, you can check out our first video. It is from the stream that we had earlier with the best moments, and very soon I will be as well starting uploading the educational videos to members only section. Alright, let's come back to the current game we have. As we wanted, we changed the bishop on a fate, so it's like this Philidor King's Indian structures where we are usually a little bit suffering with the bishop on g7 because white is usually playing the move d5. Now, as you can see, all of this is not possible, so black is usually doing here quite well regarding the opening stage, because as you can see, we don't have the bad bishop. So this is very useful. We have the move rook c1. Eventually the idea is to play c5, and now it's an important moment. So let me try to explain you what is gonna happen next. Because we don't have the dark square bishops, so now it is way stronger to play the move c5. This is very important positional move c5 now, because we would like to go knight on c6 and knight on d4. We can only play the move c5 in case there is no white knight on c3. This would be terrible if the knight gets to d5. Now, as you can see, the knight is on d2. So in case white would play the move d5, the knight on d2 would have nowhere to go, and also rook on c1 is not the best, because usually we proceed with a6, b5 push. So our opponent took, of course we take back with the pawn, and now look at that, knight on c6, knight on d4. Now compare the bishop on c8 and the bishop on d3. Obviously our bishop on c8 is a much better piece. Our opponent is trying his best. Yes, the idea is excellent to get the knight on d5, but the question is, does it work? First of all, we have the move knight c6, knight d4, so we are one move earlier, which gives the black excellent position. Secondary, we might go here to take the pawn on a2, and third, the move I like so much is to put the rook against the queen on d1. Then we have this knight takes e4 coming next, so white has to lose some more time. And the question is, what do you do? Because there is queen a5 check coming somewhere, might be very unpleasant. We have the pin here on the d file. Knight takes e4, potentially very dangerous. So multiple ideas simultaneously. And as I said earlier in many streams, sometimes people used to say that chess is a game of double attack. In case you can attack simultaneously on different flanks, different ideas, it's usually very hard to defend from it. So with the move rook on d8, this is exactly what we do here. We would like to give a check on a5. We would like to take the pawn on e4. We still have this position idea, knight on c6, and knight is getting to d4. Our opponent tries to be very, very solid with the move knight on g3, holding the pawn on e4, but now there is never the idea of getting the knight to d5, so let's just develop the knight. Knight on b4 might be coming next, still trouble here on the d file. So basically, we are now having white pieces, not black pieces, because we are the first to get very, very active. We have the short castle. Our opponent is not scared of the move knight on b4. I don't know why he's not scared, so I'm just gonna play this. Knight on b4, attacking the bishop on d3, attacking the pawn on a2, and I think that most probably white is going to lose now some material. Yes, white is losing material. We can simply take the pawn on a2. Is it the best that we can do? Let's check. Can we maybe put some even more pressure on the d file? This would be possible only by moves like queen on d6, but then the bishop goes back. Is it a good position for black? Yes, it is, but then the question is, why not just to take the pawn? So we have also some developing move like bishop e6, but then the queen goes here. Yes, we can still take the pawn, or the queen maybe goes here. Maybe we can win the pawn on c4. What is better? I am not sure, so we take the easiest solution. Once you are not 100% sure, I think usually it is the best just to take a simple way, very safe way. We just took the a2 pawn and we go back. In case you have some questions, please do ask your questions in the chat. I would be most happy to answer them. In case I'm busy playing and I have no time to view your questions, we have excellent people here in the chat that might help you out. And obviously, yeah, welcome everyone here to VChess. So now queen e2 been played. Our bishop on c8 should be getting more active. So the place is usually bishop on e6, very, very normal. I think we can play it straight away. Maybe we can play first h6, not to allow this knight on g5, but it's not that dangerous. So let's get more pieces into the game. Once we're doing better, I like so much to get my pieces into the game. I think this is the first priority. Not important if you're better, worse, or whatever, get your pieces out. Usually, once I start also overthinking, it means I'm starting to think, well, I can develop later. Maybe I should do something tricky first, and then to develop. Usually it always goes bad, so maybe 90% of cases it goes wrong. That's why I can only give you the advice, get the pieces out. Even if you think you have something better, in most of the cases it will not work out before the pieces are not in the game. So get your pieces in the game first, and then you will see what you will be doing later. Now in this position, maybe we have already a little bit of tactics here. I don't know actually if it's needed, because otherwise I would push the F button. Then it's like boom on the board and we have some tactics. So let me describe you the tactical idea. Rook takes d3, rook takes d3, we have bishop takes c4. So here is this nice spin. I think there is nothing better probably for white than to play this rook on d8, take the bishop. Yes, it is a winning position for black. We take another pawn. Question is, of course, if this is all needed. He would like to get the knight on f5, so we can stop here, for example, by playing g6. He has no threats, he has no nothing. So I don't know what is the better choice, to take the pawn or not to take the pawn, because the bishop is just so bad here on d3. So this is not a must-take situation, this is like a can-take situation. So should we take the pawn or should we not take the pawn? Very difficult to say, but maybe why not to take the pawn? So let me try to take the pawn. It is again not a must-play stuff, it is only a can-play stuff. So no, it's not the F button push time yet. I see in the chat Isak today with us. Tommy, welcome. Then we have Shonek also here with us. Alright, rook on d8 check. As we expected, he is going to take the bishop here on c4. Next idea for white is to get the knight on f5. Is it dangerous? I think not really. But just in case, we are playing this move g6. Look at this beautiful move g6. Here is a trick which you can maybe remember for your own games. Pawn g6 versus knight g3. This is always the best. So in case you can play the move g6 versus the knight on g3, just do it, because it is the perfect position of the pawn. Knight on g3 is now sort of completely out of the game. So the knight theoretically can only go back, which is obviously not the best position. So, rook on c1, the pawn on c5 is under attack. We can defend it easily by playing, for example, knight on d3. I like the move knight on d3 because why not to play the move knight on d3? The knight might go to f4. Knights of white on the edge of the board. It makes only sense in case white can sacrifice some knight on f5, but, well, we are going to take the knight. Why not? Knight on d3. Beautiful position. b2 pawn might be under attack. King is very safe on g8. No direct threats. So things are looking very, very good. All right. So let's see what is going to happen next. Again, welcome everyone to our educational streams. In case you have some questions, please do ask them in the chat. Don't be shy, there are no bad questions. Of course, your questions should have some kind of sense, but there are no bad questions. We are all of a different chess level, so it's not about being a good chess player. It is about trying to get better. That's why we have the stream. So don't be shy, ask your questions. And in case I see a question, I will be answering it. In case I don't see a question, because sometimes we have little time on the clock, then we have many good people here on VChess that are able to answer your questions, or most of them. So, rook on d1. Our opponent is trying to be here strong on the d file. It is making sense, but I think we have a couple of ways of playing the current position. First of all, we can take. He's gonna take and take on c5. Is it a winning position? Very, very good chances to win it, but maybe we can play first something like rook on d4, because look at this position here. Rook on d4, beautiful position. Now, in case white is gonna change the rook, it's gonna make our pawn structure even better. And once again, try to take a look at the position of the knights. We have beautiful knights. Knight on f6, getting to the e4 pawn eventually. Knight on d3, well, it's easy to see. And this knight's here on g3 and h4. Yes, he would like to checkmate with knight f5, but it's so difficult, so it's not very realistic. Now, after queen on c3, we have several solutions, but we have here, I think, a little trick. Again, it's not a must play, it's a can play. That's why no F button, push. We have knight takes f2. Look at this little tactics. Is it needed? No, we can also go just back knight f4. And our position is a winning one, but why not to grab another pawn in case we can? And I think we can, because what is the choice for white there? White is gonna take, we will be taking, and maybe there is some kind of queen f3, and actually our knights are trapped, so still should be good for black, but let's play the safe one. Let's play the safe one, because knight f2 maybe is working, but take queen on f3. I don't want this to happen. That's why let's put the knight on f4. Beautiful position for the knight here. In case of rook takes d4, we have always a e takes d4. So, let me see the chat. I see a question in the chat. Are you kind of player that prefers a certain starting pawn move? As I said in my previous streams, in case you would like to be a good chess player, you have to be much more like water and not like stone, so you always adapt. You adapt to the situation. It means also in the beginning, it's not that important to get some particular kind of position because you must be all-round player. In case you are playing, of course, at the very top, then it means you have a very deep preparation, and it depends which lines you've been repeating before the games, because actually the daily repeating is so annoying because you have to repeat so much every day. But this is a completely different case. Now here on the stream I'm playing all kind of openings. I literally don't care about the opening because we are trying to become again better chess players. It means for us that we have to check a lot of different positions. And this is what we are doing here. Let's go with the move rook on d3. So we are getting a little bit better all around. And very soon I think we'll get some options, maybe to win some more material. So let's see how the game is going to develop. We have no one-sided plan, so we are always adapting to what happens next. And I think I would only advise you the same. There is no winning strategy. You have thousands of strategies, and the strategies are always changing depending on what is happening on the board. So try to adapt. Try to learn to adapt to what is going on, and you will see your results will be much better. So let's get a little bit more active now with our queen. Black is 2 pawns up, so every endgame should be very good choice here for black. Endgames 2 pawns up, it's usually quite an easy win. The knights are still here completely out of the game, so this is a good thing. Rook is here on c1. Feels like it's time to win the game somehow because a lot of things are under attack for white. Just we have to calculate here a little bit. Maybe it's time to play this queen on d2 move, and we can capture. We can also play something else, but let's calculate a little bit. I think queen on d2 is looking pretty good here. Also, we can just go for this endgame or defend the pawn with, by playing b6. Maybe actually b6, just to give 0 chance to our opponent. Let's play the move b6, defending the pawn on c5, and I will be playing the next couple of moves a little bit quicker because we are running down on time, so I have to play faster. Let's see, he wants to take the pawn on e5. What is the best way to defend the pawn? Actually, I don't know, but that's why let's go for a winning endgame. So we will be playing now again a little bit quicker here because it is very little time here on the clock, and I have to play faster. So let's take, and let's give this check. Let's play here. We should be able. Why I didn't play rook d2? I should have won, of course, in one move. Rook on d2 would be just game over instantly. This is not the best. Now we will be putting our knight on d4. Still, it is a winning position, so it is not like I blundered everything away, but we have to play faster now. This is the issue. No time to wait here. We have to play a little bit quicker. Let's get the good knight on d4. Beautiful knight. Let's advance now with our pawns. I will make this pre-move because so little time on the clock, so we don't have much time left. That's why I will be playing a little faster. The pawn on e4 is under attack, so yeah. It looks like a completely winning position, but we have the little time on the clock situation, so how can I win this position easily? Let's hold all the pawns. And okay, I don't see an easy win. I will be playing a little bit quicker. No time here on the clock. Let's take. And of course, this rook and game is easily winning one. So all we need to do is to get the king closer, and that's it. So the strategy is very, very simple, but just so little time on the clock. Let's go here. Let's come closer. Now let's give a check and play this move. Let's come back. Let's come back. So we are just a rook up, which obviously gives to black an easy win here. Just the time. But I think I should be fast enough to give a checkmate, so... Yes, our opponent also resigns because... rook down, there is nothing really to play for. So all in all, I should have played, of course, a little bit quicker. He wants a rematch. Okay, we give one rematch to our opponent. I think it's always fair. Also, he resigned very fairly, so that's all right. Let's start our second game against this guy with the move e4. I should have played a little bit quicker the last game, but the rest I think was fine. So step by step, move by move, we got from a little better positionally to better in material, and this is usually what happens in case you're doing well positionally. Slowly you will be having maybe some extra material. So from positional advantage to material advantage, this is how it goes. And of course, please push the like button here on the chest so we have YouTube going. More people will be able to see the stream in case you see some educational profit for yourself. But I hope you do, because we have so many different positions, and I think a couple of ideas are for sure new. So I hope that this kind of streams are making you a better chess player. Alright, we have the move knight f6, attacking the pawn on e4. Very unusual move order in the Spanish. I don't know if I can take just a pawn here on e5, and actually what is going to happen after that, because it looks like I should be able to take it. I can also play this move c3 with the idea d4, which is also looking like a very good idea. So, little bit weird the way our opponent is playing the current position. So I'm really not sure why we should not take the pawn on e5. Maybe there is a trick, but I don't see the trick, so I will be taking the pawn on e5. The idea is... Oh wow, knight d4. This is the idea of black. Looks suspicious. Doesn't look like a great idea, to be honest, because I think we should be able to be way better in the current position. It looks like maybe he has some counterplay, but doesn't look like a great counterplay, because we are attacking the pawn on f7 and we have the c3 d4 option. So I don't really understand what is the key point of this strange play by our opponent. I think it is just almost a game over, to be honest, because how to hold position like that? We are attacking the knight. Next is d4, and it might be almost game over. I see Bean in the chat. Bean, how are you? Bean almost always with us. Let me see if there are some questions. There's a question by Lawrence, also very often here. Why you haven't been streaming for 3 days? I was a little bit busy, so sometimes it's like that, because obviously I have many other things to do from the streaming. So this 3 days I moved to a different apartment. This was number one, and also many other things to do, so it was not a good time for me to stream. We had a little break, but now we are back. After knight on c6, I can play the simple knight takes c6, followed by the move e5 and d4, just a pawn up. But there is also a very interesting way to play. It is to sacrifice here on f7, which is going to give white, I think, quite a serious advantage. So we have the aggressive way of playing these positions, and we have the very safe way of playing the positions. I think it depends on the style of the player. Maybe just for fun, let's go with a very aggressive way. This time knight takes f7. Our idea is simple. We are taking, then we cover the center. So first of all, we have the 2 pawns. We gave 2 pieces for the rook, but we have the 2 pawns, which is great. secondary. Take a look at the center of white. I mean, it's a massive center, so the pawns are gonna be rolling. We can start with the move e5 followed by the move d5, or we can start with the move d5 followed by the move e5. What is better? I don't know. I don't know what is better, but I like this e5 first because the chain pawn is pawn chain is so nice here. The knight from f6. Where to go with the knight? Where to go? On e8. Well, doesn't look so beautiful. To go to g8 looks maybe even worse. To go to d5 now is not possible, so in case he plays d5, I will be pushing the f button. Alright. By the way, we started the upload of members only videos. You can check them out in case you are our member, and there will be more videos coming now. I will be starting also upload educational videos in the members only section. So we have something special for those of you who are supporting the channel, and of course, thank you very much for that. Knight goes to e8. We can try now several ways. We have this check here on h5, not looking bad at all, because then I'm gonna play the move d5. What a position, what a position. We can also start just immediately f4, f5, f6. Looks basically like a game over, because I don't think to hold position like that is possible. I like it. Yes, queen h5 is a good move, nothing wrong with that. We have also queen on b3 check. He will have to go to f8, nothing wrong with that as well. But I like this kind of pawn chains. I don't know why, maybe it's just because I personally like it so much. So we play the move f4 with the idea f5 or d5. We can choose now d5, f5. What is better? I don't know what is better, because both is looking so powerful. f5, idea f6. Is there a defense? Doesn't seem like there is something that black can do against it. So f5 looks like a win, but to play d5 also looks so nice. The knight has to go back to b8 to the starting position. What should we do here? I don't know. I don't know what is better. There is this kind of bishop c5 check, but it is not helping much. Maybe d5, because it looks beautiful. Just for the visual beauty, let's go with the move d5. Dare you play Title Tuesday? No, I am not playing online, so I am not doing Title Tuesday. Is this channel yours, or you're sharing with someone else? GM, it's a question by Lawrence. The channel is mine. I hope to build the channel in a way that we have a lot of different things on the channel, but it's gonna take some time, so slowly. Now it is me streaming. I hope soon there will be more streamers, so you will have the choice of different streamers, of different chess content. I think it is important that we not only have the educational content, but as well, or different kinds of content on the channel. But of course, we still, our main focus will be always a little bit more serious than on most of the channels. So direction will be always try to be objective, try to learn something, get better chess player. So this is our priority. By the way, take a look at this beautiful pawns. Have you ever seen move 15? The white pawns are dominating the game. Now after the move d6, we have the move e6, by the way, blocking the bishop on c8 like forever. But on the other hand, we might be winning the game by playing the move f6, because I don't see a defense. f6, f7 is a threat. It might be just straight game over. So of course we play the move f6, because if you see a direct win, we just go for it. Bean is saying, I've been practicing against bot, and finding my 550 ELO opponents seem to play much better than the 2000 ELO bot. Or they keep catching me with some awkward traps, at least. Non-stop annoying gambits. Bean, I don't advise you to play bots, because it is just completely different chess. So for example, me, I've never been playing bots. None of the top chess players is playing bots. To play a computer is completely different than to play a human, so maybe this is why you're facing this kind of situations. Now g takes f6, so we are exchange up in the current position. Let's play with a move knight on d2. Let's get the pieces to the game. Once we have something extra, let's just get the pieces into the game, and the game is over usually. Alright. And then we have a question: which opening would you recommend for both white and black, sir? 700 elo. When you have 700 elo, openings do not matter. So you can play whatever you wish, because opening is only important for a strong player, because you can keep the position. Openings are important. At least you must be 1800, 2000, then the openings are important. Now don't waste your time on openings. Do some tactics, you will see that you will be improving very quickly, and opening is coming later. So Queen f8, let's see what happens now on the chessboard. On the chessboard we are having the exchange up position. Knight wants to take the pawn on f5, so all we need to do is to bring the rook into the game. The game will be over. Very simple strategy. We continue our strategy with bringing pieces to the game and eventually winning the game after it. So the question by Lawrence, who is Gemelin, is the other streamer. Yeah, Gemelin been streaming for a while. It was just fun content for those of you who would like just to have the fun, because she is just a beginner in chess. So I think it's good to have again everything on the channel, but to have different content, different people, different things. This is the basic idea for our channel here. So let's see how it develops. Step by step, guys. Hadi is saying the match ended almost without any pieces being moved. Yes, black pieces, of course, not doing too well here with bishop c8 and rook e8 completely out of the game. Now, next step, I'm bringing the last piece into the game automatically. And this is what I would always advise you to do. Bring the pieces into the game. The rest will be easy. Once your pieces are doing well, you will find a way to give a checkmate. So very important, get your pieces out. Now the rook would like to go to e7, would like to go to e8. It feels like the game is not going to be lasting very much longer, except of course there can be a blunder, there can be a mouse slip, there can be many things. We are playing a blitz game, so everything can happen, but objectively speaking, white is doing winning because we have the better pieces, and still we have the exchange up. The king is open. It makes the defense for black almost impossible. There is a question, sir, can you teach us how to get better in the middle game 1700? And accuracy is 90%. Well, in case you have accuracy more than 90%, maybe your opponent could be only Magnus Carlsen, because I don't think there is anybody else that can have this kind of accuracy except Magnus Carlsen. Not even Caruana can do that, so you are just too good. You are very strong. There's almost no way to get better than that. Let's go with the move queen on h3, attacking the pawn on h7. This is almost a checkmate here. Very difficult to play with black. The game is getting to the stage where you have no more good moves left. It's like the saying goes, in a bad position there are no good continuations. And yes, this is what we have usually. Wasn't the black queen trapped after rook takes f5? Maybe, I don't know which place you mean, but rook f5, there is a bishop here protecting the pawn on f5, so I don't know which stage of the game I could have played. Rook takes f5, but yes, it's possible. Sometimes I'm missing things, sometimes I'm making mistakes, which is very normal. So Bean likes to play 30-minute games. Okay, 30-minute game, of course, is a very solid option. And king gets to h8. It's time to finish somehow with a checkmate. How can we checkmate the black king here? We can get a little bit closer with our queen. For sure, not a bad idea. We have this little trick to play queen h4 in case he takes. We give check and take back. So let's go maybe with a move queen to h4, like the easiest solution. We have queen on f6 coming next. Very difficult to defend from that for black. We can also change the queens, so simplification is possible because we are doing exchange up in an endgame, which guarantees us a pretty easy win. Bishop on b6, a little out of the game, so the bishop is not defending the king on h8. Objectively speaking, except some big error by me, there is no way to come back here from this position with the black pieces. So, good morning, welcome everyone. Chess Laboratory is back with us on the stream. Welcome everyone, push the like button and subscribe in case you like my comments, and of course, in case you have the desire to get a little bit better today at the game of chess. Also, you can check out our shorts. We have good shorts because they are quite educational, so little tip in an endgame sometimes might change the outcome of the game, plus might change the mood of you to start the day with a win. You have great mood to start the game with a feeling that you have missed somewhere a winning continuation. We are all chess players, we know it feels quite bad because we are thinking, it's not like very important, but still we have the feeling that we have missed something that we should not. So a little bit of upset. Let's put the pieces first here to the light squares. Next we will be advancing with our king to the center. And the game is over. The king is cut here on the f-file. There is absolutely no counterplay for black whatsoever. There is b5 coming, but this is not helping much. So let's get the king to the e4 square. And the game will be over. Quite easy strategy in my opinion. Now he goes with the move c5, so we go with the move a4. Just for fun, not to allow. Black is completely paralyzed. Black is like 100% paralyzed. Look at that. There is nothing black can do against us walking here with the king. Of course, there are faster ways to win the game, but why not to win the game in the safest way? So this is what I mean very often by strategy execution. You don't need to win the game in the fastest way, you need to win the game in the safest way. There is a big difference between those two. Fastest and safest, and usually your brain should work direction. How can I win the game without giving any kind of counter chances to my opponent? This is the key. Don't give him a chance in case you are doing much better. So king is getting here to e4. Later, if we want, we can advance here with the pawn to h5. Is it needed? No, but we can. So he just resigns. He is depressed. There is no way to do something here for black. And as you can see, sometimes your opponent might be even so upset that he's going to resign. You show him that there are no ways of coming back. After that, the mood of your opponent is just changing because he sees, alright, I will not get any chances. So why to sit there and suffer? Let's go immediately with the next game. Let's go. So we played the move c6 so far. After the move e4, maybe now we will be playing the Sicilian defense in case of e4. No, we have the d4 on the board, so let's go maybe with the King's Indian defense. g6 and bishop g7, so this is the King's Indian defense. Bishop is getting to g7, the crown of the King's Indian defense, the bishop on g7. Let me take a look at the chat for a second. There is a question. You said before to not consider the opponent, simply play the board. Seems like some GMs change their approach based on the opponent's style. Why do you not consider much the opponent? Some GMs, I don't know, first of all, how you get this information that some GMs are doing that on this. And again, in a very high level chess, You have a lot of time to prepare for the game. It means you have your seconds, first of all. So there's a team, and this team is helping you to prepare for a particular game. You have maybe 10 hours of preparation in total to one opponent. It has nothing to do with online game. It has nothing to do with club level chess. We should not compare being a hobby player and being a professional player. These are completely separate things. And of course, these things are completely different. All right. What else do we have? Question is it why your opponent is so low elo? First of all, it's not so low because I don't think that you're much better than my opponents. And secondary, I'm always pushing that 10-minute game when we are playing whoever comes. So we are always fair. We are not pre-arranging games or pre-arranging opponents, etc. We just play whoever comes. Queen on e8 is a typical way to go away from the pin. Their second typical way it is to play the move h6. To give up the bishop is not the best. So white should never give up the bishop. Even if you play the move d5, still never give up on the bishop because the direct squares long term will be not so good. So this is not the best way to play these positions with the white pieces. Usually we just go back, and the idea is simple. We would like to get bishop h6, beautiful position for the black bishop. He is getting the b4 push. Yes, it is correct play by our opponent, but we will be countering with the move f5. So we have to think if we should play the move c5, which is sometimes not a bad play, but he will be taking d6 pawn is under attack, so this is not a must. Second is just to get quickly the knight on d7, and the third is just to go bishop h6. I like the move bishop on h6. b4 is not so dangerous at the current moment because there is usually no c5. That's why we might be active with the pawn f5. So we play the move f5, we're getting active. Let's see what happens next. The knight is protecting us from the main idea of c5. Knight on d2. So our opponent decides it's time to leave from f3. Of course, we will be not taking on e4. This would be quite a serious error. The bishop on h6, beautiful bishop. So maybe the knight wants to get to b3 to support the c5 push, which is again very typical. So also for us, let's play a move like queen e7. Idea very obvious, to stop white from playing the move c5, to put queen to a little bit better position, then maybe bishop d7 again. Let's bring out the pieces first, and then let's think what is going to happen next. So there's a question by Duni. I'm playing a classical tournament tomorrow. Any tips? Please, time control 90 plus 30. My tip is always, in case you want to achieve the best possible result, never focus on result. And this is a typical mistake done almost by everyone, sometimes even by professional chess players, because you just want so much to get the best result, and this is a huge mistake. So my advice to Duni is just enjoy the game of chess, and your focus should be on the next move. The next move is crucial, so it means every move is a new move. Just focus on your next move, never focus on result. Don't say I want to play good this event, or my goal is to score, I don't know, 4.5 out of 9, 5 out of 9, whatever you want to score. Just focus on the moves. There's nothing better you can do than to play a good chess move. So this is my advice for every practical player over the board. All your thoughts should be going direction playing the best move possible. The rest is not in your hands. So finally we have the execution of the move c5, which is alright. We will be getting our knight to f6. These positions are quite complex. We have the beautiful bishop here on h6 covering the c1 square, which is very, very good for black. On the other hand, white is pushing here on the queen side, so both have their place, but for a King's Indian player to have the bishop on h6 and no counterparty is usually a dream case scenario. We have bishop on c4. What is the idea of bishop c4? I'm not sure, so it's time maybe to get into the attack. we're attacking the bishop. Next is maybe knight f6, knight on g4. It's not a must again, but it's a can. I could have kept the queen on e7 just to play knight f6, king h8, and also I think we're doing well. This bishop on c8 is not yet in the game, but for those of you who are King's Indian players, probably you know that this bishop will become very, very powerful. We have to be a little bit careful here with the move knight on b5, so in case of playing knight f6, we must be sure that knight on b5 is not working. And yes, maybe it is working, maybe not. We have to calculate. We have this kind of crazy push on the king side. Not 100% that this is working, but it looks so beautiful. Let's go. Let's go just with a beautiful play. It is by far not a must play, but just it feels so right because I will bring my knight here. I'm gonna push f4. Yes, he is going for the craziness. And let's see if we can give a checkmate to white in the current position. Let's go with the move knight on g4. By the way, for those of you who are our subscribers, you see probably the new emoji. We have uploaded the panda F, so it means boom. Once we have something special, you can push your panda F emoji just for fun. And next, I don't know if he wants to take, but we have, I think we have the move f4. Let's double check if we have the move f4. Take f3. Looks like a checkmate. It would be a beautiful checkmate, by the way. So let's go with this. I don't see a defense. In case he plays the move f3, we get this knight on e3. He will be taking a couple of pawns, but we play bishop h3. It should be very near to a checkmate, in my opinion. Let's double check just in case. We also have this bishop f4, bishop f4, which is also looking pretty good, but I like the move f4. I don't know. Seems like a good decision to play the move f4. Let's go. Let's go with the move f4. Otherwise, it made no sense to play knight on g4. So let's push. This is the King's Indian. We play in the King's Indian style. Sacrifice, sacrifice, and give a checkmate. This is the way to play the King's Indian defense. Yes, sometimes it might go wrong, but sometimes it might go good. This is King's Indian. You are never sure what is going to happen. You're just pushing and hope for the best. There's a question by Luxor. At what elo does that shift occur to where the opponent's style becomes necessary to understand? I don't think this shift occurs at any stage because there is no necessity to understand it. I think to focus on yourself is usually the best what you should do. So in any case, it's not that important. So I don't think this is something that you should think about. Just focus on your own moves, and this is the best you can do to play the best chess you can. Knight on d2. Knight is getting to f3. How to give a checkmate now? Actually, knight on d2. Very impressive defense by our opponent. I didn't see that coming. Still, we have knight here, and then to sacrifice, like a very serious idea in my opinion. So maybe let's go with the move knight f6 back, but maybe there's something else as well. We have some kind of e4 push here, very interesting, because in case he takes with a knight, we go f3. In case he takes with a queen after the e4 push, we have this bishop on f5. Coming with a tempo, and knight gets to e5, so very, very interesting move. Is it working to play the move e4? He might be taking first on g4. We take here, queen takes. We have the rook e8 followed by the move f3. Oof. Beautiful attack. Let's go. Let's go because it is so beautiful. I don't know actually if this is working. This kind of e4 push. Very, very double-edged. Might be working, might be not, but it is a very beautiful move. Let's calculate a little bit more because in case it doesn't, it would be, of course, very, very pity because we're doing so well in the current position, and I think we should have very good mating attack here. Okay, let's go. Let's go with a crazy move e4. We continue playing in the King's Indian style. We push, push, push. What a beautiful game. Again, I don't know if I'm playing a good game, but this is a very, very beautiful game. We are attacking the position of white with all we have. Knight eventually wants to get to e5. Next, we would like to play e3, f3. As you can see, white is under heavy pressure here. King is alone on g1. We would like to get to the white king. Let's see if we manage. Knight on b5, yes, is doing very well because he would like to take the pawn on c7, but it is also crazy tactical here. Let's see how the things will develop. So, knight takes c7 looks too passive. It looks too passive. He should have taken the knight. Now there are so many pieces around the white king. Hard to imagine that this will go well. So we continue pushing here on the king side. I think f3 is looking good, no? To play f3, is it the right choice? Because we have also many other options here. So I don't know if I should proceed with the move f3 or not. Also, this is looking interesting. But I like the move f3. I don't know if I'm correct on that, but I like the move f3. I think he has to take because there is nothing else, at least what I see. And we're gonna just grab the knight first. We can also get the bishop out with the tempo, but then he's gonna take here on f3. Looks still very good because we have the move knight on e5. It's gonna be, I think, a good position, but there is queen on g3 check, so a little bit too complex in my opinion. I will be taking first the bishop, I think, or just let's double check because it feels like we should be winning. Yes, to take the knight is, I think, not a bad idea. So many threats to the white king. This rook on a8, we don't care very much about the rook currently. Obviously, position is very, very complicated here. A lot of different options for white and for black. But it feels that the white king here on g1 is... and I think we have a winning continuation here. It's time to push the f, I think, because we can win the game. We can win the game here. I'm pushing the f. Boom. Once you see the f, there is some winning continuation. Please write it down in the chat. What do you think about the current position? And I think all in all, it was a very nice game. Very, very complicated game with chances for both sides. But now we are winning here with the black pieces. Write your answers in the chat, please. I'm very curious who is able to find the next winning move here for black. I give you 10 seconds more because I have to play my next move. Otherwise, I will be losing on time. Black to play. Black is winning. I don't see a defense. That's why you saw the F. And the next move for black in the current position is to play bishop on f4. So we are bringing back the bishop. There is this checkmate on h2, and I think there is no defense. There is no defense. It's going to be over now. I am very curious who found this bishop f4 idea. I will check the chat afterwards because now just 1 minute. Oh, he gives me the queen. What's the point of that? What is the point of giving me the queen? Okay, just resign in case you would like to give the queen. White to play, position with the queen down. Makes no sense. Yeah, he just resigns and that's it. The idea here after bishop f4 is that in case he plays something like g3, we will be taking bishop takes g3. Still is the mating threat, and we play queen g2 with a checkmate. So very nice game, I think, very much King's Indian game. We will, in this position, we started the mating attack. It was by far not forced, so we could have gone like knight f6. And yes, solid position, everything is good here for black. We have this monster bishop on h6. But we started a little bit risky play, but I think very nice one. Knight on b5. Now white is getting to the pawn c7 and d6, but we play knight on g4, we play f4. So we push first. In case he takes, we have the move f3. Similar idea, bishop f4 next. There is nothing better than to take, and here it is with a checkmate on h1. So we push knight on d2. He brings a piece back to the defense. Makes perfect sense. We play the move e4. I think quite nice. We push and push and push. The idea is that in case he takes, We have this bishop on f5 attacking the queen, and queen goes back. We have knight e5, and again everything is under attack for white. White is just losing here. He tries to defend it by taking. Eventually the knight is getting to e6, but we have the move f3. And once again, it looks like it is white is just not in time. There's problems here everywhere. Yes, very sharp position, but I think white is not in time in case of taking. I don't know if I should play bishop f5 or to take here first, or to play bishop f4. Many options, but I think because we have so many pieces here on the king side, it looks like the attack should be decisive. Again, it's never 100%, but it feels like that. Also, by the way, we have a beautiful move, bishop e3, just for fun, because in case of a g, I think we can play queen on g3. Look at this checkmate. Wow. Queen g2 checkmate, and there is no defense. So very beautiful. White has to take here on f3, but we can take the queen. So very beautiful checkmate. And in case white would do something else, let's say come back with a knight, then we have, in my opinion, what I wanted to take f2, yeah. King on h1, then we have queen on g3. We would like to give a checkmate on h2, and in case white takes, obviously this is a checkmate. So quite beautiful. Bishop on e3. I don't know if it's needed. The same happens in case white would take here the bishop. We have the check. We have the queen on g3 idea, and queen h2 next with a checkmate. So all in all, quite interesting. But of course, our opponent, he gave us the bishop, so we've been initially doing very well. So we had the chance for this kind of checkmate. Let me see who saw this idea. We had rook f4, rook g4, maybe also winning, but I think bishop f4 is just easier. So, alright, let's go with our next game. Let's start the game with the move knight on f3. Again, our opponents are always random here on chess.com. We are not choosing against who we play. I am just pushing that 10-minute game. Alright, knight f3, d5, g3. Thomas is writing, I didn't like your position. Too complicated. Too complicated is not a definition for a bad position, Thomas. In case you would like to play King's Indian, the things are always complicated because King's Indian, you don't go for a King's Indian if you want to have an easy game. It is just not something that you are doing. So King's Indian means you go for a crazy fight, and you must be ready for this kind of crazy fight where you might be having troubles if you would put, let's say, computer King's Indian already after, I don't know, move 10. Computer is saying it's almost at +1 position. So King's Indian is not for people who would like to have a safe game. It just does not work. Alright, so now we have this kind of Reti opening, or it would be Grunfeld reversed basically. So we play the Grunfeld reversed with a tempo up for white. Grunfeld is fine for black, so now we have the tempo up, and it means that these positions are pretty, I mean, between equal and a little bit better for white. The idea is we get very quickly here to the d5 pawn in case we can. Obviously, we have also this queen a4 check like an option and go for the endgame. In case of knight on c3, usually there is d4, a continuation for black. Also, these positions are very complicated, so difficult to judge, difficult to play. All of this is always not easy. Maybe let's give the check on a4 just to see the reaction of our opponent. For the moment, he's playing a perfect game, so queen on d7, also one of the best reactions. So our opponent is playing very good here. We are taking the queen on d7. Now black can take with a knight or can take with a king. Both is alright. Black is taking now with a knight. Also, good move, good move. Our opponent's playing fantastic game. How does he do that? We will be taking here. Next, we will be developing the knight on c3, attacking the pawn on d5, and next, maybe we will be playing the move f4, next d4. Wow, he gives us the exchange. Why is he doing that? After fantastic play, we have the move d4, which very unusual, because why to give the rook on e8? Wow, this is very surprising. Great play first, everything done very, very well. Then he is just giving us the rook on e8. What a surprise. Let's see what is going to happen next. He's taking the knight, he will be taking the pawn on b2, but we have this rook on b1 defense. So the question is where to put the bishop from a8. I think it would be normal to put the bishop on... Wow, I cannot defend later the pawn on a2, or this is amazing. Wow, how to see this kind of thing? This is just impossible what our opponent is doing, because how he sees that. Because maybe this is working, this kind of sacrifice, but this is just impossible play. I mean, no way to see things like that from far away, and playing also so quickly. It seems like we have another guy here not playing by himself. This is crazy. For a guy who played 2000 opponent, to see that d4 dc might be working, this is just insane. I mean, no way to see that. That in case he takes rook on b1, he plays rook b8, and there is no defense against bishop on a2, so this is just crazy. We have to play the move rook on d1, followed by the move rook d2, bishop b1, and then he is going to keep the bishop. No, but no way to see that. There is literally zero chance to see that. Also, I think bishop a2 is not played, yeah. So he is not even taking the pawn because he knows that this position positionally is good for black. Zero chance to find this over the board, like literally zero. So yeah, we will be claiming this guy. We will be losing the game probably, because to hold against an engine is basically not possible. So maybe we are lucky. Sometimes these people are not playing the first line all the time, so then we are lucky. For example, g6, now he played by himself, because this move makes zero sense. Like literally zero. Why to play g6? You're exchange down, what's the point? But in most of the cases, yeah, we have people that are sometimes playing way stronger than GM level, and it's very easy to see. This exchange sacrifice has been great from the guy, just of course g6 is complete nonsense. In case he would choose a better line like knight on c5, which would be very, very natural, then it is a fantastic exchange sacrifice over the board. In case you have time, maybe there is a way to play like that. In an online game, you have zero chance to do something like this. Also here, he plays bishop on h3, and we can just take the pawn with a check. So we're playing opponent that is obviously not very good. But before, he played unbelievably good moves, like fantastic, I would say. And now also he goes back, instead of staying in the center in every endgame, try to keep the king in the center. So he goes away from the center, makes zero sense once again. So we play the move rook on d1. Next we will get the queen a little bit closer. Now probably white is already winning, because he gave us the a pawn for nothing. Okay, what to do? We have Captain Vix saying, what do you mean, Captain Vix? Sometimes someone can see something like that. I don't know what you mean, Captain Vix. Forrest, thank you very much for your support. Forrest is saying, Captain, I have been up all night studying and I'm happy to catch another stream. Forrest, thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much for your great words. In case you are getting a little bit better with every stream, this is best that I would like to hear, because this is why the stream is there. So step by step, I hope that you guys are improving. This is all I want to hear, and thank you very much, Forrest, for your support, obviously. So next we have knight on e6 and knight on d4 is coming next, but how dangerous is it? It's attacking the pawn on e2, and maybe this knight on b5 idea is possible somewhere, so we have to be a little bit cautious here. In case we can change the rooks, the game is gonna be instantly over. How can we do that? We can do that eventually by playing something like rook on the e7, but there is rook c8 and rook c1 coming next. So his idea might be to play this rook on c8. We have to be very cautious with the move rook on c8. We have this rook on d7 defense, but not that simple, not that simple. The knight is getting also to the d4. How to cover all of that in one move? I think we should bring the king to e1 because it feels like the right approach. So I will be playing probably the move f3. But then there is this knight on d4 and king here, knight on b5. The rook has no good squares to go. Knight is getting to c3. So weird. It is so weird. How can I defend from that? It feels like I should have an easy defense, but somehow... What is a defense? Sometimes it feels like it is an easy defense, and then you're checking, and you cannot find it. I think f3 should be a win, but it's not so easy, that's the thing. Okay, let's go with the move f3, because it feels like the right decision, and then let's see later. Oh, Forrest, again, thank you very much for your help. Forrest is saying, hopefully I end up #1 by the end of the stream. I would love another game where I don't self-destruct in the opening. Forrest, okay, we can play another game. Yeah, thank you very much for your support. That's okay. If you would like to have a revenge, that's fine. Let's have a revenge. Knight gets on d4. And knight wants to take the pawn on e2 and knight on c3, but I think we can give the pawn on e2 because this knight on b5 idea, I thought I have bishop on d3, but it feels like a little bit shaky in my opinion. We have also the idea of g4 just to block the bishop here forever on h3. So yes, position of white should be winning, but this threat is just so dangerous. That's why I think I'm gonna play first the move rook on a3. I'm defending against this knight on b5. In case he takes, I'm gonna go forward, play this, and play king on g3. And maybe it's going to be a winning position. So yeah, he takes as we expected. I'm going with the king forward, so the knight has to return, most probably because there is, I think, nothing else. And the idea is now to play the move g4 followed by the move king on g3. As you can see, the bishop on a3 without moves. He tries to free the bishop, but I think we have the move king on g3, and I think the bishop on h3 is falling. At least I don't see a defense, so let's take. Is there a way to defend the bishop on h3? I don't see a defense. It would mean that it is a game over. So, there's a question by Shivam already some time ago. Sorry, I have missed your question. The question was how to convert winning positions. It depends. What means a winning position? So, do you have more material, or do you just believe it is a winning position because there is some positional advantage? So, it very much depends. Usually, in case you have some more material, so we can call it a winning position. In case you have more material, try to simplify. So this is usually the best way to win a position. Simplify. At some moment, your opponent will have no more pieces left, so you will be winning. In case you have a big positional advantage, it means positional advantage has to get into material advantage. This is by far not so easy, so you have to find a way to win something. You have to find a way to have something extra. So it depends. Sometimes it is not easy at all, because computer is saying easily winning, but it means nothing for us. This is a thing that usually we are focused too much on the computer evaluation, and computer evaluation winning means nothing. It doesn't mean that you are winning, it means only the computer thinks that you are winning. Okay, let's continue the game. We have the move king on g7. Maybe there is some kind of knight getting here on e2. So how to win the current position? Actually not so simple. I think we should do something with the rook. Maybe let's try to get the pawn on b2. The best that we can do here is to sacrifice at some moment the rook and to push the a pawn. So let's see, knight on f3. The guy is not letting us do that. In case I go somewhere, there is knight d4, closing that. Oof. Tough move, by the way. Very, very good play by our opponent. He plays unbelievably strong again. This is just insane. These people are sometimes so good. We cannot fight them. Actually, how to play here in this position with the white pieces, because I cannot go here. There's e4. This is crazy. This is crazy. I think we have to give the rook, because I don't see what else to do here. I don't think there's something else. Also, the guy thinks he's very funny because he offered me already a draw like 10 times. Okay, we play against machine, so yes, I should have paid more attention, but we play against machine. That's why it's gonna be almost impossible now, I think, to recover from that. Let me think if we still have a chance somewhere in this position. I don't think I have to take. I don't have something else. So next we will be pushing the pawn. And yeah, still, it is a big fight, but we are fighting against machine, so it's gonna be almost impossible here to do something. This is crazy. I mean, I don't know why the guys are doing that. What's the point of playing with a machine? Now we cannot take it because there's knight on g5. He also sees all the tricks, of course. This is unreal. Now I think I have to play a6, e2, take. There's a check, no, but this is just unbelievable play by the guy, because completely unreal. This is just insane. I think I have to play a6 because I don't have something better, but okay, this level of first line play is absolutely disgusting. I don't know why people do that. Also, the move king g7 he did before. This is crazy. This is just crazy. These people are insane. What else can I say? And now, of course, he sees that he can take first the bishop. Yeah, not even the rook. He takes first the bishop. This is so funny when I see things like that. This is just funny, because we cannot call it differently than funny. Playing first line, and he is offering also draw like every move. He thinks he is a very funny guy. So very, very funny guy here with us, playing just the first line. And yeah, there is nothing we can do, obviously, to save the game, because he is way too strong. He is just playing the best. Rook a8, also the best. So yeah, this is a game over for us. We can do nothing because he sees everything. He's gonna play now knight on b8, and it is game over. Okay, there was nothing I could do to save the game here. He is just way too strong. Yeah, he plays always the best, so we can do nothing. We can do absolutely nothing here to save the game. It is just a game over. So yeah, we will be losing the game. We could do nothing. At some moment he did a couple of moves by himself, and then of course he played immediately extremely bad. But now he continues playing just first engine line, all the moves first engine line. There is no way to fight an engine, so yeah. The only way is to flag, yeah, but this is also not going to work usually, because you cannot survive till flags a guy. This is a thing that now, oh, I pre-moved, he takes the rook. We will be resigning, and of course we will be claiming the guy of cheating. This is like 100% a cheater. So we will block the guy. This is quite easy because it is too obvious that the guy was cheating. And yeah, just interesting. Who is this cheater? Let's check who the cheater is. Cheater has no name. So we will be blocking the guy, and obviously it's a 100% cheater. There is nothing you can do against people like that, so that's the way it is. His account will be blocked very, very soon. But again, there is no way for us to win against an engine. We cannot do that. We cannot beat an engine in any kind of position, and yeah, this is just zero chance. We had this kind of things a lot of times already on the stream. We cannot fight an engine. Just I should remember to report the guy, and the guy will be blocked. So yeah. All right, Forest, again, you gave us something. Oh, thank you very much, Forest. Forest is today very generous. After the passing of Dania, the captain filled the void in educational chess. Nobody else does. Thank you very much, Forest. Thank you very much. So let's play first one more game in 10 minutes. And then, yeah, Forest. Then we will be playing. So first I play just a normal 10-minute game, and then one game against Forest, because Forest is supporting us so much and also very, very kind. So we will be playing a game, and yeah. Okay, the next game, let's start with the move e4. Last game we started with the move knight on f3, and yeah. So the last opponent, he thinks he is very smart, so he's mixing, yeah, bad moves with good moves, and he thinks he will not get banned. Of course he will get banned. So it's a very, very little brain guy. What to do? There are many people like him. We can do nothing. So next game, let's focus on the game. We have the move g6. The main line is to take on d5. Why do we take on d5? Because there is this bishop on c4 idea. We are attacking the knight on d5. Bishop e6 played so quickly by our opponent, which is a rare reply. Bishop e6. Normally black is taking on c3. So what is the idea in case I still play the move queen on b3? Is there something black can do against it? I don't know. So I just play queen on b3 because this is what we do after knight on c3. And he plays instantly knight takes c3. Well, why he plays so quick? I'm gonna take on e6. And he takes... Wow, this looks horrible. This looks just horrible what our opponent is doing. Look at this structure here. And he continues playing instantly. Wow. This is amazing. Why people do that? It is just crazy to play so quick in the opening to get a completely lost position. And what happens after? Let's just get the knight out. In case you would like to play this endgame. Alright, let's play the endgame. No issues here. Knight on c6, so we can castle short side, for example, be very, very safe. We can also play the move c4, which is great. Let's maybe castle short side. I don't know if I can take the pawn. Maybe I can. Maybe this is also possible, but why not to castle short side? e6 pawn is going to fall very, very soon. There is no way to hold this pawn forever. Endgames are bad for black. Normal game is bad for black. He plays also bullet chess. So literally bullet, we are move 13, and he has spent 25 seconds. This is just horrible what is going on here. So let's take rook takes on e6. We will be collecting the material step by step now. This is not a serious play, but what we see here by black, because it makes no sense. So we can see, for example, that this guy, he has no future in chess because he is playing with literally zero logic. When you're doing something, you must use your brain a little bit. Why do you play bullet chess and now you resign after 50 seconds? This is insane. This is crazy. I think some other games, some other computer games would fit to the guy much better than the game of chess, because there are many ego shooters, for example, where you have to be very, very quick. Like maybe some of you are my age, approximately. I am 40 years old. Maybe you remember Counter-Strike. We all been playing Counter-Strike. I played a little bit, of course. I never been a gamer, but we all loved Counter-Strike. There you have to be very, very fast. Or StarCraft, but not in the game of chess when you're playing rapid chess. All right, now Forrest, are you here? Please, Forrest, give me a challenge so we can play a game. We have today the daily game against Forrest. Let's go, Forrest. I'm waiting for the challenge. Forrest wants to take a rematch. Forrest is very, very motivated. So, let's go, let's go. All right. Next game against Forrest, one of our biggest supporters, and I think in the evening Thith will be back also with us. I promised a game against Thith. Haven't played yet because he had to go to work. I think he wrote in the chat this was pity. So maybe tonight we're gonna play against another big supporter of our channel, Thith. In the chat we have, I hope, big support for Forrest, who likes to have a rematch. Let's go, Forrest. Forrest is very motivated today to take a rematch, and indeed yesterday he had good chances in his game, but got a little bit too nervous according to his own words. Let's see how the game is going to be now. So, let's go. By the way, I think till today evening we will have this cheater banned. So I will inform you, because sometimes chess.com is taking a little bit of its time to ban cheaters. I have to contact them always one by one, which is of course very time consuming, and for chess.com and for me, because it's so unpleasant. You have to send them the link of the guy's game, and yeah, it makes literally no sense. Forrest is saying he is stuck in the game. What does it mean? Forrest is playing still his game. Okay, till Forrest is playing, we will be playing one more, not to lose time. So let's go with the next one, and then we're gonna play Forrest. So let's see what we have in the chat. Let me read the chat. Okay, next game, let's go with the move d4 now. So we have everything on the board. Maybe now we will not face a bullet player that plays rapid chess. We have the classical Queen's Gambit. Okay, let's go with the main move, bishop on g5. Main idea is to get e3. The difference between the main classical Gambit and the normal Queen's Gambit is that now we get bishop on d3 followed by knight ge2, so we don't put the knight on f3. That's the key difference. After the move h6, we have a couple of ways to play the position. One way is to take on f6. The other way is to play with the move bishop h4. Both is possible. Let's go with the move bishop on h4. The idea is to play bishop on d3 next. We cannot let the bishop out on f5. Very, very important, crucial thing to be remembered. Don't let the bishop get to f5 in the Queen's Gambit. Okay, I see the chat is silent. In case you have some questions, don't be shy. Once again, I would remind you, don't be shy. There are no bad questions. By the way, now knight f3 is looking good after the move h6, because we get the knight on e5 and there will be never f6. So after h6, knight on f3 is normal. Knight on d7 preventing the knight at e5 move. Queen c7 is not the best. Now look at that, the rook is against the queen. I would never advise you to put the queen on c7 against the rook. So queen usually stays on d8. Black should have castled short side, plays a move knight e8 and knight on d6. Okay. A question in the chat, if I have ever played Pia Krumling. I don't know if I have ever played her. I don't remember, but it could be. Not 100% sure, but she played usually in the female tournaments, so there've been not many opportunities to play via crumbling. All right, let's go bishop on g3, taking the queen. So we get this bishop g3 with a tempo. Now he just goes back, and obviously we play the move knight e5. That's why I would not advise you to put the queen on c7. It is not the way to put the queen. So there is Jumanelina is saying we're enjoying the game. I'm a beginner and I have learned a lot. Okay, thank you very much for your kind words, but still, don't be too much in this kind of cinema feeling. Try to interact more, because as more you interact, as more you focus, as more you're dedicated to get a little bit better. So I would advise you always try to think what could be the next move. Try to compare your ideas. Of course, to write something in the chat is not a must, but still try to participate. It makes you faster, because in case you have the cinema feeling, we all get a little bit lazy in the cinema. So I would always advise you, in case you're serious about getting better, to participate a little bit more. Welcome everyone who is new to VChess. I hope you liked and subscribed already. Otherwise, please do so. I will be streaming now, I think, daily. I try to stream twice daily. Sometimes it's hard to do it twice a day because it takes so much time and energy, the streams. But let's see. Now we can take with the f pawn and with the d pawn. Which pawn is best to take? This is a hard question because both is possible. Usually we take with the d pawn, so let's take also here with the d pawn. This is the way it goes because we have this f5 push, which might be deadly. So in case we get the f5 in a good moment, that's it, the game is over. To take with the f pawn would also make sense because we have the pressure on the f file. Sometimes it is maybe matter of taste, matter of feeling, matter of a direct calculation. There is no global rule for that. Should we take with this or with that pawn? Both is possible. Lux is saying, what is my Counter-Strike? Counter-Strike I played, Lux is asking, Lux. Counter-Strike I played 20 years ago, man. 20 years ago, maybe 15 years ago was the last time when I have played Counter-Strike. Too long time ago. I don't remember nothing anymore of the Counter-Strike. Maybe my hands still remember a couple of combinations, but the brain doesn't remember nothing. Too long ago. I have quit it a long time ago, all this gaming stuff. Chess is basically a little bit of gaming, so when you're playing chess on a high level, you don't need this kind of adrenaline rush every game. You're just so exhausted. There is no need for something extra. What can we do next in the current position? We can play knight e2, knight on d4. We can play the move f5, and actually, why not? Let's push the move f5. Usually the right continuation. The bishop from e6 has to leave. We have the ideas like f6 with a direct attack on the black king. It feels like the position of black is very dangerous currently. We should be able to develop a very strong attack. Bishop goes to d7. Now, should we get the queen first into the attack, or should we immediately push the move f6? Because it might be a checkmate, actually. f6, but maybe he's going to defend with the move bishop on f8, so it's not over yet. What should we do next? Bring the queen. Or should we bring the queen to h5? Also feels not bad at all, so I don't know where I should put my queen best. Both is possible, and then maybe rook f4. Ooh, this is what I like. Let's get all the pieces. Let's get literally all the pieces into the attack, and then we see what we do next. Alright. The chat is rolling since we have the Counter-Strike discussion. So, evening stream Counter-Strike 2. No, I didn't. No. I'm not streaming any kind of games, and I'm super bad now probably. So I don't like. No. We are serious here. This is a chess channel, so we do chess. We do nothing else. except chess. Now I think I can defend simply by playing bishop on f4. Looks very, very solid here. Bishop on f4, defending the pawn on e3. I would like maybe to get rook f3, rook g3, h4. All the white pieces are now in the attack, and let's see, maybe somewhere we might play the move f6, rook c8. How does it help? How does it help? I don't see how it helps, so I think we can maybe finish the game instantly by playing the move f6. I don't see a defense after the move f6. Is it the right approach, or it's still a little bit too early? Of course, we can still get the rook into attack here, but I think it is just a game over after the move f6. I don't see a defense. Let's double check if my calculation is correct, because it's always same. Positional advantage, strategy, then calculation. Is there a defense? I don't see a defense. I'm playing the move f6, and maybe we will have a chance to push the f button. So in case we have some beautiful win, I will be pushing the f. For those of you, yes, we have a win. I'm pushing the f. White is winning here. Boom. So once you see the f, there is something direct that white can do to win the game. I give you 30 seconds to think about your next move. Please write your answers in the chat in case you are convinced that you see the winning combination. I will be waiting for another 15 seconds and I will be playing the move. And of course, afterwards, I will be reading the chat. I'm never reading the chat during I'm pushing the F because it is not fair. So I'm always reading it after I'm playing the move to be very correct here on the stream. And please, Forrest, are you ready to play the game? I hope Forrest is ready to play the next game, because it's gonna be game over soon. So we are taking first on h7 for those of you who saw that. This is very, very good. Now here the pawn on f7 is hanging, but first we will be taking on g5. That's the key, because now there is no ag. In case of fg, we have rook takes f7 with a checkmate. So yeah, I see in the chat bishop takes h7. Very, very good. Very, very good. In case you see moves like bishop h7 first, bishop g5. Excellent. That's excellent. Also, Santosh is back. Santosh, how you been doing? Now f takes g5, rook takes f7, the last moves of the game. Forrest, are you ready? Where is Forrest? Where is Forrest? Next checkmate within 2 moves. We need Forrest to be ready. Forrest said he is warmed up. He will mess nothing in the opening, so he is very serious about crushing us in the next game. Now, after king g8, it is over. It is checkmate. We are delivering checkmate. Queen on g6, check. And checkmate is the next move. So, our opponent resigns. Next game goes to Forrest. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Forrest, busy man. Last time was playing, now maybe playing again. Forrest is a player. Let me see. Where is Forrest? Forrest, are you here? Where is Forrest? Forrest is here, sending. All right, Forrest, let's go. Let's go, Forrest. He wants to crush us. We have to be very cautious. Last game, Forrest almost crushed us. I did not pay attention, and then it was a very bad position with a piece down. So I will be paying more attention now to the game against Forrest. Dulip is saying, would you like to play with me? Now we play against Forrest. Forrest first. Forrest, a big supporter of the channel, so of course the request to play a game is normal. And here we go. I see Forrest, I see the challenge, and we will be playing the next game. Let's go. Forrest with the white pieces, we are with the black pieces. Make some noise in the chat for Forrest. Last time I played the move, e5. Let's test forest in the c5 lines. Now let's go with the move knight c6. So forest is going to choose bishop d5 or d4. We have d4. All right, take, knight on f6. We will be playing the rouser opening with the move d6. So let's see what forest is going to do. Bishop c4 line, very sharp. The main actually is to play the move bishop on g5. Now we have e6 like a normal line as well. Bishop d7 like a normal line. So there are these two are the main. Let's go with the move bishop d7. e6 is also very playable. So the idea of the move bishop c4 is usually to castle short side quickly and then to have this f4 f5 very quickly. These are the ideas. It is a very dynamic game, as in many Sicilians. White is pushing, black tries to survive the first wave of the attack and then to counter punch. So when you're playing the Sicilian, you know that the first wave is usually the most dangerous wave, because white is really pushing hard. Bishop on e3, maybe now the idea is to play the move queen on de2. Is it possible? Yes it is, but maybe we can play first the move rook c8. Let's check what the bishop is going to do. Maybe we're gonna see the move bishop on b3, which is making sense. Maybe Forrest has something else in mind, so let's check. First, let's check what is going to happen next. Knight on c6, also possible. This is not a bad move. After rook goes to c8, to take on c6 is making sense, because in case I take with a pawn, then the question is, why did I play the move rook c8? So this is not a bad idea. Let me take with a bishop, I think, because I would like to attack the pawn on e4. Currently, to take here on a7, I don't think it's possible. So e4 is under attack. Queen on e2, very dynamic. Forrest is going crazy here, because he gives me the e4 pawn and he thinks he will be able to checkmate the king on e8. Forrest, unbelievably dynamic play now by Forrest, not a bad play at all, so it's gonna be a crazy game here. I think I should take the pawn, because we have to accept the challenge. Sometimes it is a hard battle and we have to accept the challenges. Position is gonna be crazy, but let's fight. Knight on e4, there's some kind of trick by taking something here. I don't think there is. So Forrest wants to have a hard fight. We have to give Forrest a hard fight. Knight b5. Now Forrest plays too quick. This is too quick. Why Forrest is in such a rush? He should have taken the knight and after bishop takes just to do long castle. Black would be under heavy attack. To play knight on b5 so quickly without spending any kind of time, because knight on b5 is a very serious decision. You're giving some time to black. And in case I get out, black is gonna be doing very well. So for example, I can play already the move d5, e6, so I need to get out with my pieces and it's gonna be alright. So knight on b5, it's a very serious decision. In my opinion, such decisions cannot be taken so quickly, because it might change completely the outcome of the game. Pawn is under attack here. I think in case of a7, Forrest wants to go knight on a7 and take the bishop. This idea is quite a good idea, but we have the move queen a5, check c3, take on c3. This is crazy. I don't know how to evaluate position like that. It could be good, it could be bad. Very difficult to say. What else can we do here with the black pieces? We have this queen on a5, immediately check c3. How does it help? How does this help? I don't know. How does it help? We can try to play d5, e6. Maybe, because we bring out the pieces, so it's not a bad play. But it feels like I should be able to move the knight back. I just don't know when I should move the knight back. Yes, we're gonna lose the pawn on a7, but it's alright because we have the strong center. So maybe I should play the move d5 immediately here. Usually to play with a good center is the right thing. I like to play the move d5. Maybe I have something better that I'm missing. But I think I will be playing the move d5. it feels like it is the right idea. d5, e6. I have to get out the bishop from f8. In case I manage to get out the bishop from f8, black is going to have a beautiful position in my opinion, because long castle is going to be under heavy pressure here. And to do short castle, there's never danger, because it gives me a couple of moves to do something. So should I play with a move e6 now? It looks logical. On the other hand, I have to calculate if I can play the move a6. It's like so, I'm not sure. Position is just way too complex. I think I have to play the move e6. I mean, I don't have to, but I should play the move e6. Let's get out with our pieces. Maybe we have this bishop b4 check somewhere. So it's crucial that we are quickly getting out the pieces, and I think we are. Let's give a check, or maybe also queen a5 check, and then king still moves, but I think we can play the move bishop on b4. It looks not bad at all, because where to go now with the king from e1? In case of c3, I think I can take on c3. And this is a problem. And in case now king on f1 or king on d1, the white king is obviously positioned, let's call it softly, not the best. So black is gonna have always a great play. We have the Sicilian. I can just simply go away rook a8, or I might even sacrifice a exchange on c8, but maybe this is a little bit too much, so I should go away to a8. White is gonna take here. White is gonna take on e4 eventually, but the king is on f1, so I think it's a big fight. Position is still crazy. But I usually prefer to have safety first, and with the king on f1, I think black should usually have good counter chances, so that's the thing. Forest played very quickly, and this kind of moves might decide the tendency of the game. So once you think it is a critical moment, be very cautious, because the game depends on the moment eventually. Let's see what we can do next to give the exchange. I don't think it is a great idea. We can put the rook on b8 or the rook on a8. Both have their advantages. In case I go rook to b8 and white is taking here, the rook on b8 will be doing better than the rook on a8. So should I put the rook on b8 or a8? So difficult to say. And by the feeling, I like to put the rook on b8. Not 100% sure that I'm correct, but maybe. Let's put the rook on b8, because I think white has to take on c6. There is probably nothing else that Forest is capable of doing except taking on c6. It's so dangerous to play with king on f1. So yes, there are many options here for white, but to play a long game having the king on f1 is just very dangerous. It's even difficult to do in case you are a top chess player, because one mistake and you're gone. This is the thing. In case you have a risky position, but maybe a decent position. From the practical point of view, it's so difficult to play, because one mistake, you're gone. So every little mistake can be punished. Now take a rook on d1, attacking the queen on d8. This is a good play. Maybe Forest could have gone also queen c4, I'm not sure. Okay, rook on d1. Now we can go the queen to a5. Is it where we should put our queen next? All we need to do is to castle short side. In case we get this castle reasonably, black, I think, it will have a nice position. So let's maybe move the queen to a5. Is it the way to play? Maybe queen a5 is not looking bad, because we have active queen, plus we are potentially attacking the pawn on a2. And who will be first now with the castle? That's all about this short castle. For white, there's eventually this kind of g3, king on g2, which takes a little bit of time. In case white takes on c6, we take bc. Yes, the pawns are pretty good, but our pawn on e4 is also pretty good, so Forest takes. We will be taking back. He's playing very quick, so maybe not a bad strategy, but a very risky strategy. Again, When you're playing so quickly, it's so easy to lose overview. And once you are losing the overview, the things start to go very, very wrong direction. So, a2 pawn is under attack. There is this kind of b for a push, but is it the way to play the position? The things might fall apart here. Bishop on f4, attacking the rook on b8. It is making sense. Idea is e5, b4 now, I think. So, I think we can give up on the e4 pawn. This is not so important. So we have the move. We have few options here. I like the move rook on b7, and finally we get the short castle done. Short castle, it's all about the short castle. King is on f1. White has to get out with the king. White has to hurry with the move g3, but maybe there is no time because a2 is now under attack. So again, we have this kind of crazy battle in the Sicilian. It is all so complex, so difficult to say what is good, what is bad. c6 pawn is hanging. I can do this intermediate check, take b2. Maybe it's okay, but I think we should just do the short castle. So the strategy will be now to push against the king on f1. b2 pawn is hanging, a2 pawn is hanging, and there is king on f1. So idea is to start this kind of mating attack, and it will be so dangerous for white. You will see in a couple of moves that the white king will be in a very bad shape in case Forest is not quickly somehow resolving the issue. With a king on f1, I don't know if black is doing better, but I think from the practical point of view, to play positions like that is just so dangerous for white, because you are under heavy pressure. And king on f1, again, you're missing one trick, you are gone. This is a problem of Forest position here. So yeah, let's see what is going to happen next. And of course, I would like to see more cheers for Forest in the chat. Forest is playing, for the moment, excellent game. Now he's getting I think, a little bit too greedy. This is too greedy by Forest, because it doesn't feel like it is something that Forest should have done. a2 is falling, king still on f1. With white, it's now basically being under heavy pressure. Once again, I'm not sure that black is doing currently better, but white is under pressure, and that's the main thing, that even if you are surviving the direct attack, long term you're doing just one step away from being last, and it's so difficult to play positions like that. It is just so difficult to play when every mistake or every error might cost you the game. So from practical point of view, it's just hard. Okay, let's see what happens next. We would like to take the pawn on a2 next, and long term, maybe we're gonna win the pawn on c3, and we play this 4 pawns. g3, very good move by Forest, because he has to give up the material and try to keep the things together. So queen a2, Forest has to try to escape. In case of no escape, the game will be immediately over, so this was a good decision. Eventually to go for a worse position, but trying to save the game. Bishop on e3. Now I have this tactical options by bishop g5, but I think it is not worse, because there is just bishop on d4. We should try to win the pawn on c3, or I should play this queen a8 and just to go for a slightly better endgame for black. So maybe first to put the bishop on f6 is making sense, because we put some pressure here on the pawn c3 immediately, and next the easiest choice is to play a move like h5, and then let's see what happens. These positions are obviously slightly better for black, but of course not so much. So h5 is very useful, because I have this king h7 in a lot of different positions, and I have the h4 push. We're doing a little bit better on the c file, so c3 pawn is going to fall in a long run. To defend the pawn is almost impossible in a long run. So let's see. Now we have the option of playing h4. So in case I would be white, I would not allow the pawn to go to h4. It feels dangerous, because you have this h3 options all the time, and every time you're thinking, is it possible, is it not, is it possible, is it not? So again, from practical point of view, it's not bad, but it's like tricky. So you're putting yourself in a position where you might make this kind of unforced error. And of course, it's better not to be in situations like that. For the moment, Black is doing slightly better. Forest is playing an excellent game, so he tries to hold the things together. Let's put the queen somewhere more central. So we put the queen here. This pawn, long term, is going to fall. To keep the pawn forever usually is not possible. I keep the option of playing h3. I could have done this h3 idea and to sacrifice, but I'm not 100% sure how this is going to end, so I'm not doing that. In most of the cases, again, white is gonna lose the pawn on c5, but Forest is playing fantastic game. Now rook c1 is the idea. Very, very good play by Forest. I would like to get this h3 done, but how to make it happen, I don't know yet. So where should I play here? I think I should play something like a rook on c2. I do see that there is this rook on c1, but I don't think I have something better here. It's strange. It's strange that I don't see good solutions. Okay, let's go with the move rook c8, because usually we should be able somehow to win the pawn, but I don't see how to do that. At least not yet. This is looking a little bit too scary for me. How can I go here? Okay, let's go queen h7. This h3 idea is very strong, but I don't know how to make this happen. Okay, now h3 is on the board. And we should now have many tricky options here. Maybe let's start bishop b2. This pawn is going to fall long run. I don't believe there is a way to keep the pawn, but we have very little time on the clock. h3, so dangerous for white now, because all the time there are some mating threats here on the first rank, so very, very, I think, dangerous position for white. Maybe it is still a draw, but it is just a dangerous position. If we take the pawn with the pawn on h3, this might be already a loss. So to let this h4 happen is usually a decision where you would be thinking twice if you need that or not. Still, I cannot win the pawn for the moment because there is a rook on d8 check, but maybe I can because there's a checkmate on d1, yeah. So I am able to take next on c6. This is, of course, making the things for Forest very, very hard. But I think all in all, fantastic game for Forest at the moment. He's playing really, really well. All in all, very, very good game. In the beginning, in my opinion, played a little bit too quick, but finally, Forest had a much, much more time than we, but position, I think, slightly... g4, wow. Is it a good play? I think we can take, no? I think I can take. I understand he is going to take the pawn there. But is it not just better for black? King is slightly worse. I think I should have played something else, but just so little time on the clock, so I don't have time to think. That's why I just quickly take on c6. There is no rook d8 because we can take it and we can deliver a checkmate. So now the question is, how can I attack the pawn on g4? Still not so easy, not so easy. We are doing eventually a little bit better with the black pieces, but it's far from easy. Position is remaining a draw, but white has to be still a little bit careful here. Where to put the bishop, by the way? Maybe... Okay, let's go back for the current moment because I don't see a good position. I would like to play this one, but somehow I couldn't find where to go. So e5, e4 is coming next. It is a draw, but Forest played not quickly enough. And in the beginning he had so much time, by the way. So now the problems are, I think, pretty visible. yes, it is still a draw, but always you have to be defending, and yeah, if you defend for a very long time, then at some moment the things are starting to get crazy. Now we are able to play the move f4 next, and that's it. So we are attacking the rook, we are taking the rook, and yeah, huge game by Forest, we have to say. Very, very well played by Forest. Very fast in the beginning, which, I don't know, this has been a good idea, because, for example, here, to play queen e2 so quickly, giving up on the central pawn. Usually, this kind of decisions are taking a lot of time, but interesting decision. Knight on b5 also played very quickly. I expected first to take and then to play long castle. Also, these positions are crazy, very, very difficult to say. So, very, very quickly played, but in fact, yes, we had this kind of crazy position. I don't know who is doing better here, maybe white, maybe black. I didn't like so much the move c3, maybe a3 makes more sense, so the pawn is not under attack. But still, this position should be approximately equal, I think, but it's too difficult to judge. And now black is doing a little bit better in this endgame. Not much, but just a little bit. Maybe usually with white, to allow h4 is not the best, so I would play immediately the move h4 without thinking, because this is usually the way it goes. h5, h4, not to allow me to have any kind of tricky stuff here. And yes, it is objectively a draw, but practically we saw so many positions like that as being won by black. Let's say at some moment c3 is going to fall, and then you have this rook endgame 3 versus 4. It is a draw, of course, objectively, but it's not such an easy draw. So it's not like immediately it is a draw. It is still a fight. This is a point of computer evaluation and practical evaluations. You can make a little research for yourself. Take a look at the game, for example, Aronian against Magnus Carlsen. Rook endgame 2 versus 1, and the game been won. So computer would say draw in any line, and then you might say, oh, somebody losing a completed drawish position. This is wrong, because in practical game, to defend a rook endgame pawn down is just so difficult. So h4 is the way to play. Still, of course, I think I played a bad move, by the way, queen c4. I should have done something else. Still, this position is a draw, because the rook on c1 now is doing very well. My only chance is this h3 idea. c6 a little bit dangerous, because now difficult to defend the pawn on c6. g4, great play by Forest, and I think I played a mistake. Queen takes. I should have gone g6 first to wait where the rook is gonna go next. So c6 pawn is not running away from us, and maybe I can take with the rook here to put some extra pressure. g4, a little dangerous, so maybe black is pushing a little bit. Okay, should be still close to draw, of course, but black is pushing a little bit. Now it is just a draw. Of course, again, white king is a little bit more open, so you have to do something against the f5 idea. Now king is open, so the things get crazy. To play with an open king, always dangerous, even if position is a draw, but you have to play just a good game to hold this position to a draw, but very little time for both of us. So yeah, all in all, great game by Forest, I think. Played very, very well. High level game. And welcome the new Viches crew member here with us. It is Fritz Meyer. Welcome to Viches. Alright, let's go with the next game. I hope you enjoyed the game against Forest. Good play, Forest. Very high level game. In the beginning, a little bit too quickly, because you took risky decisions. Yes, it was okay, but when you're taking a risky decision, of course, you have to be aware it can go either way. So before taking important decisions, it's better to be like certain to spend the time, a little bit more time on this kind of things. But all in all, great game by Forest. In the end, yeah, a draw position what we had. So bishop on c4, so we have this kind of bishop opening here, knight on c3 and bishop on c4. This is loved by the Chinese. Actually, I don't know why Chinese love this opening so much, because I don't think it is a great opening. Black is just getting the bishop, but Chinese, they play VE, is the superstar of this opening. He plays it again and again and again. Very difficult for me to understand what is so great about this opening, but alright. So now we have the bishop pair. We have easy way of playing bishop b4, for example. This position is completely equal. I like maybe to be a little bit more aggressive with a move d5, so I think we can aim for already maybe even trying to get some advantage with the black pieces. So there's a question, is there a time to play with chat? I'm always playing 1 game per stream, usually against those of you who are supporting the channel with your comments and with your ideas. So 1 game per stream is usually what we have here. Knight goes to f3. Should I play the move bishop b4, which is possible, or should I play easy taking bishop on d6, which is also looking very good? So I will be just taking on c3. Easy way to play is usually the correct one. Bishop on d6, defending the pawn on e5. Next move is short castle. And in case we are considering what do we have after the opening, we have black with a bishop pair, which is, yeah, something very good. White is doing solid as well, but bishop pair for not much. Let's put the bishop to g4. So we have this beautiful bishop here on g4. So, what is White's best bishop during opening army? The king's bishop. It depends. It depends what is happening on the board. You cannot say that in all the positions this is always the best. No, but usually bishop needs space, so it means open position. You must have an open position, so bishop have space. Bishops are then doing very well. In close positions, you prefer to have the knight, so you cannot say that we always do the same. It does not work. Does not work. Forrest, oh, thank you very much, Forrest. Thank you very much. Forrest is saying thank you for the game and thank you for the amazing content. Between knight b5 as preparation from my coach. Wow, Forrest, you are an opening genius. How to know such a rare line? This is like a very, very rare line of the rouser. Forrest is an opening genius. Wow, knight on b5, still a preparation. Forrest is not joking regarding opening. Quite funny. Forrest, you are an opening monster. I will know that for our next games. I should keep it in mind. Very, very well prepared, Forrest. Okay, bishop on b2, attacking the pawn on e5 makes sense, but we have this f5 idea just to push for a checkmate. We have the safe play f6, which is also looking good. We have the move e4, not bad. Many options how to proceed here with the black pieces. We have somewhere queen f6, but I would like to play the move f5, obviously, in case I can. Can we make the move f5 work somehow? Because I'm afraid a little bit the pawn is not protected yet on e5, so to play immediately the move f5 might not work. We can play this f6 to be patient, and let's see what happens next. Or we play the move rook e8, there's probably rook e1 coming. Somewhere to play the move e4, queen d4, attacking g7 might be tricky, so... what should we do here? What should we do here? Maybe f6. Just to be safe is sometimes the best. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to our channel VChess. I hope you're enjoying my comments. I hope you're learning at least a couple of ideas that are new per stream, so you're getting a better chess player. In case you do, push the like button and subscribe to VChess. We have rook on e1. It's normal to get the rook into the game, but currently rook is pushing versus a pawn on c5, so this is not dangerous. We have to do something with a pawn on a7. The usual setup is with a a5 here, because we are controlling this pawn structure, and we would like to play b6 next, so it is all very, very safe. h3 and g4 is pretty weak in the long run. Of course, we cannot make use out of these weaknesses immediately, but long run, first secure the position a5, b6, and then put queen here. Then we get rook e8, then we play the move bf5. This is what we want. And let's see what we will be able. So sometimes we want to do something, but it is not working. So we try, but we cannot. Now we would like to play the move b6, queen d7, rook e8. And maybe, let's see if we can. He would like to take on g6. Is it dangerous? Not very much. Also, we have this f5 push, but I think it is a bit too early. So we continue with our strategy, putting this a5, b6 to control all the white pawns. And we will be slowly getting ready to play the move f5. By the way, Forrest, I have a question. Where are you from? Where are you from, Forrest? Let us know. I think you have told already once, but I think I have missed it, or maybe I don't remember. Just curious where Forrest is from. Very serious chess player to know opening so well, to have this knight on b5 analyzed in a red line. Quite rare. Canada. Forrest is from Canada. I see. Okay. Let's go with the next moves. So we are getting ready for the move f5. How can we make it happen? d4. Our opponent is playing also an excellent game, by the way. d4, very good play. Maybe he would like to take, but then we have this f-file here. So should we take just on d4? Is it enough? I think black is having a nice position because we're gonna play the move f5 next, but is it enough to win the game? So you must always think that something is good. It might be not enough, but maybe it is the best. So we have also e4, interesting play to sacrifice the pawn, then get this f5, followed by the move queen h4. The black pieces are so quickly in the game. So should we take and play the move f5? I think he's gonna take with the queen to avoid the move f5. And it's gonna be not easy. How dangerous is the move e takes d takes e4? I don't know. So maybe we should try to go for this e4 move. It looks crazy, I have to admit that, but it might be good crazy. So let's go with e4. We will be entering something very interesting. So obviously this h3, g4 are two major weaknesses because the king is not protected. We play the move e4, so I would like just to close the bishop. Next move is gonna be f5, and then we can very quickly get queen to h4 and maybe doubling on the f-file. It means we're getting all our pieces in the attack, and we hope that white is not having enough time to be alright after the move f5 because there are no defenders. There might be not enough defenders to the king on g1, so this is the idea that we have. Let's see how it goes. So here we go with the move f5, queen h4 next, and the bishop is nicely positioned on b2, but bishop is not doing much. That's the thing, you have a beautiful bishop, but it is not doing much. And this idea of queen h4 followed by, for example, fg, h3 is under attack. It can be extremely dangerous. All the black pieces are now aiming towards the white king. That's why I think it's a nice idea that maybe you can remember for your own games to sacrifice and then let's attack. Rook on e6 is making sense. We have to take a decision now. Should we play this or this? I like the move queen on h4. So I think I will be playing queen on h4. Queen h3 looks very dangerous. F takes g4 is looking dangerous as well. So let's see. What is going to happen next? we are trying to have this kind of major attack on the king here on g1. Let's make it work. By the way, what do you think in the chat about this kind of sacrifice like e4? Would you have done it? Do you like the idea, or you would think it is just a little bit too dangerous? I'm just curious about your opinion about this idea of e4, because I think it's a nice idea to know, because in case you don't know these ideas, you cannot find it over the board, because you think, okay, why should I go give the pawn for free? Now that you know this idea of e4, what is your opinion about this kind of idea? I think it's not bad. We have this kind of ideas in many structures in the Spanish. But yeah, I think it matters a little bit on what kind of player you are, how much risk you like to take, and of course, how much would you like to attack your opponent. Most of the players are way better in the attack than in the defense, so we should not forget that we have the practical aspect of sacrifice, that not many players are defending well. Most of the players are way better in the attack. So we have Thomas with not too dangerous for Thomas. Then we have Buck is writing, I think it's a great idea. Then we have Hassan who is saying, my Laman take is a pawn push. Gave clearance for a stronger attack. Yes, this is true. Heidi thinks it's a too high rated move. And then we have Mutal who is saying it's a killer. Aggressive is all it takes. Well, we should not forget, always try to think. You would like to score best in a game. And in case you like to score best in a game, you have to become a practical player. So what it means that more players are attacking better than defending. So even if your sacrifice is maybe not the best, you still have this kind of bonus of a practical play. So in my opinion, this is even 80-20. So it's always 80% attacker and 20% defender. In case, let's say, attacking and defending chances are equal, still usually 80% the attacker wins. That's why we have the practical play bonus when we are attacking. So this is also something for you to consider. We have the move d5, good play to open the bishop, but is it not too late? Because I am capable of taking now the pawn on h3, and we will be giving a checkmate next. Actually, what is the defense against queen h3? I don't know what is the defense, so we can take the pawn on h3. We can also take the pawn on g4 first, because we would like to give this checkmate here. Both is looking like, I think, quite a good decision. At least it looks like that to me. So, what should we do here? Should we take fg? Maybe the idea is this queen on d4, attacking g7, defending on f2 simultaneously. We have the move rook f7. I think it is a good position for black. Maybe the same actually happens in case I take. Still, there is this queen on d4, but then we have this trick and we're gonna win. So let me take first the pawn, I think, because I don't see a refutation after queen takes h3. Slowly, we are getting nearer and nearer to checkmate the white king. And this is what we wanted already for quite some time. After our opponent played this h3, g4, the king got weaker. So step by step, we are trying to get closer and closer to the white king. Explorer is saying when we'll have members only high quality videos, we will be slowly starting to upload member high quality videos. With high quality, I don't know exactly what you mean, but slowly we will be filling. Now we have already one, and from now on we will be putting more videos for members only. By the way, Explorer, when you became a member here, because somehow I don't remember very much Explorer. Maybe I missed. So bishop on e5, defending from this bishop on h2. but it, I think, still is not saving the game here, because we have f4 idea with a move f3 coming next. Very, very interesting. Is there actually something that white is capable of doing against it? Not sure. We can also just take, which is also looking like a great idea. And the question would be, of course, why not to take first on e5? So I think this is an easy solution. Let's take first, and let's take now. Still, this rook f2 is very dangerous. g3 is very, very dangerous. So we have many, many options here to proceed with the black pieces. With white, still not easy. White is under heavy pressure here. White has to defend the king. Rook on g5. King is still alone, and I think we are able now to have a beautiful sacrifice here to finish the game. And yes, we have this sacrifice. I will be pushing the f. Boom. So black to play. Black to play. We have a very, very very strong play here with black to play. So let's go, let's go. Sorry, Explorer, in case I didn't remember you. We will be uploading, of course, members-only content very soon. So, black to play. How can we win the current position? We have a beautiful tactical boom. And what is a tactical boom in this position? It is, yes, correct, for those of you who found that. Very, very good. We are taking on f2. And next we have a couple of ways of winning the position, but in case you saw the move rook takes f2, very, very good. It is not a must play, but it is too beautiful not to be played. We would like to checkmate here. Next, obviously white has to take the rook. There is nothing else. All right. Let's give the checkmate by playing the move rook on f8, and that's it. That's it. King is trying to run away, but there should be no running. We can give a check here first. We can even simply take the rook, but I think we have something better than this. And we give a check here first, because that's it. No, that's it. Is it a win? I think so. I think it is, but maybe there is something white can do in the current position. I don't see what. We will be taking away the material. Now we give another check here on d4. And I think we should be able to win something like this rook here, but how to do that? In case of rook f2, there is king e1. Not a checkmate at the moment. Amazing. This is amazing that I cannot deliver a checkmate in the position where the white king is running all across the board. This is crazy. This is just crazy. So I don't know what to do here. How to give a checkmate. So let's give a check, because I don't see something better. This is insane. There is no win. There is no win in this kind of position. Hard to imagine something like this going on. So I will be going for this rook game. I think we're doing very well in the rook game because the g pawn is just so strong. But here it comes. Yeah, good move, good move. Good play by our opponent. He's fighting like a lion. And how can we win the game? So let's attack first. Now let's go back. The g pawn might be running soon. So let's run. Let's give a check. And let's take the pawn. So now, of course, we are winning here, because we have the pawn in game, which is absolutely winning. But all in all, huge fight. Huge fight here by our opponent. Very, very good game, but not enough to hold. He tried. He tried. I thought I'm completely winning, but then suddenly I couldn't find a checkmate. Maybe I have missed some checkmates, but yeah. Forrest is saying, since I was a child, I was fascinated by openings and theory. It's my favorite part of chess. Whoa, Forrest. Forrest likes very much to analyze chess. Okay, that's a great thing, of course. To enjoy analyzing theory, many people think it's very boring to analyze theory, but in case you can enjoy something like that, that's of course big plus. But yeah, that's a good thing. But it's a difficult thing, so this is a rare quality because most of the people think, I believe it is just boring to analyze, and nothing happens. Also, you must have a lot of time for that, because to analyze something well takes huge amount of time. To remember the things you analyze takes, again, huge amount of time. So it's a huge time investment in case you would like to analyze theory. most of the time the investment is just too big, so the professionals are doing that, yeah, but the rest, I think, is not very efficient way to become to the next level, because instead of spending 10 hours on theory, you can spend 10 hours on puzzles, for example, and the outcome is gonna be way better spending 10 hours on puzzles than 10 hours on theory. So yeah, this is what is happening. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. I will be back today evening with my next stream, approximately, I don't know exactly when, but today evening, 8, 9, 10 p.m. Dubai time. This is when I will be starting my next stream. Sorry, I cannot stream more because it is so energy and time consuming. For those of you who try to stream, you know that how difficult it is. I hope you enjoyed my stream. I hope that we had some cool ideas here in the stream and we had a nice chat. Thank you very much to all of you for being supportive, for watching, to the request of Explorer and to many others. Yes, we will be uploading members only stuff, but again, step by step, don't rush the things too much. You have already many hours daily of the stream, which is having already great chess material. Not easy to do everything at once. So yeah, Dubai, yes, Dubai. In the chat is a question where I am. Yes, Dubai. I am in Dubai. Once again, thank you very much for watching. See you eventually tonight. Forrest, thank you very much for your support of the channel. Forrest is supporting us almost daily, so thank you very much again for that. As we say on DChess, one smart move at a time, and hope to see you in the evening, our VChess family. Thank you very much, and bye.